What's up guys, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing part 4 of our Halo 3 ODST LASO run. This is ONI Alpha Site, so start up this mission. We're going to spawn in on this bridge here, and instead of setting the charges right away, we're going to turn to the right. There's 4 guys down here who are fighting the enemies on the other side of the bridge here. Most of the time, at least one of these guys has a pistol, so we're going to exchange our SMG for their pistol. It's random what weapons they spawn with, so if you find that there's no pistols, just restart the mission and you'll get another random assortment of weapons. But now, after getting the pistol from this guy, we're going to turn around and set the charges as we're supposed to here. You can see I'm just running up the right side and setting the 2 charges over on this side. If you actually ignore the one on the left, Mickey will take care of that for you, so you don't have to worry about crossing the bridge to that side to activate that. We're just going to go back to this tower over here, which is where the main switch is to blow up all of this explosive ordnance over here. So you can see there's a computer set up in the corner of this tower. We're just going to wait here for some dialogue. Just keep hitting the action button in front of this computer. That way, as soon as it's possible for you to activate the explosives, you could do so. And the superintendent AI will say, "Bridge toll accepted, have a pleasant trip," indicating you've activated it. So you could jump down out of the tower. I'm going to go over to the left here where there is a health pack in case you need it. And because it is much safer to hang out on the side here for a little bit, because you can see the Wraith mortars are focused on the center of this area. So occasionally there will be a brute or two who actually makes it across the bridge, since we took more time than usual to get across the bridge ourselves, since we went towards the enemies to get that pistol and then came back finally. But Mickey and all these Marines will be able to take them out for you. But after the bridge blows up, you want to move into this corner. This will actually get the door down below to open up, and that way you won't have to kind of hang out and wait for the door to open up while you're in this choke point dodging Wraith mortars. So you can see it's open up right now. Just give it a few seconds sitting in that corner. It will open up for you, then you could quickly make your way through that choke point and not have to worry about the Wraith so much. Follow these jumps, and we're going to swing around to the side, the right side of all these enemies that are getting dropped off. We want to kind of take a wide berth so we could avoid getting shot by the turret on the side of the Phantom. But now the Phantom is leaving, so we could safely move over in this direction. And what you want to do is take out your Spartan laser and use it to take out the 2 hunters, and that's it. We don't really want to kill any other enemies. Maybe a grunt or 2 with the pistol just because it's so tempting, but we really want to focus on just taking out the 2 hunters quickly, and then we want to move to the top of the map because we're going to start juggling some weapons around so we could set them up for later. So now we're moving up here, and we're going to cut into the left. There's going to be a pistol on the ground so we could fill up our pistol, and it's going to have full ammo at this point. So you can see behind the sandbags here, there is a pistol. Now we have full ammo, and we're going to move up to the top here. We should have a Spartan laser that's only taken 2 shots, so it has 3 more shots in it. If you used more than 2 shots with your laser already, I would advise reverting to your last checkpoint so you could have 3 shots remaining in this thing. But for now, we're going to exchange it for this full laser, and we're going to move up ahead here. There's a sniper on the ground. We're going to juggle the sniper and the laser down to the doorway on the left over here, and we're going to leave the Spartan laser by the doorway, which we will end up going into later on. Cut in behind here where there is a rocket launcher. We're going to use the rockets to juggle the sniper up to this doorway now. So we're going to leave the Spartan laser and the sniper down there. We have rockets and a pistol. We're going to go up these stairs, turn to the right. There's another laser that is full. We want to go grab this. You can see there's a health pack over here as well, which I'm going to leave there for now. And we're going to juggle this Spartan laser down to that doorway as well. So down at this doorway, we want to leave 2 full Spartan lasers and a sniper. And at this point, we're going to move up towards the battle again with a rocket launcher and with our full pistol. So you can see there's another health pack in the middle there by that crate. We're going to go down here, and we want to find Mickey. He'll either be to the right of this platform, on the stairs next to the health pack, towards the left of the platform, or up on the turret like he is here. He's scripted to come to this general area in the middle, so if he isn't already, he'll probably be here soon. He's probably just delayed by some coveys. And as you can see, I just gave him my rockets, so now I have a pistol and an SMG, and I want to grab that health pack if I am low on health or stamina, so I should have full health and stamina at this point. And we're going to move up to here and grab this laser that we left that has 3 shots in it. So we have a laser that has 3 shots and a pistol now. We're going to make our way down to the bottom, kill any enemies except for the brutes. Any remaining brutes that are alive, keep those guys alive for now. We want to find 2 plasma pistols in the meantime and juggle them down to where we entered this area from. So you can see I found one. I'm just going to speed this part up. I'm just juggling the laser and the plasma pistol down to the door that is now closed. So we're going to leave 1 plasma pistol here, and then we're going to go back and grab another plasma pistol. There should be a bunch lying around from the dead grunts and jackals, and you want to leave at least 1 brute alive, because once all the enemies are dead, they will actually trigger more enemies to come in by phantoms. So we don't want to have to deal with those guys yet. We want to find that second plasma pistol and then we have a lot of ammo to use for the next wave of enemies. So I'm just looking around here for a plasma pistol, and it actually takes me a while to find a second plasma pistol, so I'm just going to skip ahead about a minute or so because it takes me a while and I'm just looking around and not finding anything for a while. But you can see all the brutes are very distracted by Mickey, so you could just kind of sneak your way around the area. And instead of juggling it all the way down to where we put that first plasma pistol, I'm actually going to put it up on this platform here, and this will get it to not despawn as quickly. I noticed that if you leave weapons down where we left that first plasma pistol, it actually despawns after a certain amount of time. But don't worry, we're going to grab that first plasma pistol before that trigger happens, so we won't have to worry about that despawning. So we're going to move up here, and you can see there's 2 brutes still alive as we left them. There's only Mickey that's kind of distracting them at this point. All the other Marines are dead, so we're just going to kind of sneakily get up behind them. You could just let Mickey kill them, you know, after enough time, he will just end up killing them. Sometimes, very rarely, without you even trying, they'll just get killed while you're juggling all this stuff around, so you might want to revert at that point because you want that time to kind of set yourself up. But this worked out. Only once did Mickey and all the Marines actually take out all the brutes pretty quickly, so I didn't have enough time to set up properly. I was only able to get 1 plasma pistol down in position, but it still worked out anyway. But at this point, you have 3 options, really. One is to sneak up behind these guys and backsmack them. You want to be aware of the fact that Mickey tends to throw grenades and shoot rockets at these guys, though, so you want to kind of make sure that you could smack them and get away from those frags and rockets quickly, though. So you want to kind of wait until Mickey doesn't have a line of sight on these guys so you could backsmack them. But another good strategy is to find another plasma pistol in the area, noob combo them real quick, and then switch back to your normal weapons, which we want for later, which is the pistol and the Spartan laser. And option number 3 is to just let Mickey do all the work, which will take a long time or a short amount of time. It's totally random how well he does. Of course, there's other ways to take these guys out, but those are the main 3 ones I would stick with. We backsmacked that first brute, and now we're going to follow up with a second one right here. That is the last enemy, so we immediately want to move down towards where we put that first plasma pistol because there's going to be 2 waves of enemies, or 2 phantoms dropping off another wave of enemies right now. So they will have 2 wraiths on the underside along with a bunch of infantry. So you can see them coming in right here. At this point, I wasn't quick enough to kind of make it in time, so I'm going to go up the side. You could go up the middle if you're quick enough and close enough once you kill that last enemy, but I decided to go up the side, which is much safer since they're getting dropped off in the middle there. So we're just going to jump down here. Keep an eye on your backside. You can see as I'm going down into this stairwell, I'm going down backwards because grunts like to throw grenades, and you want to be able to see them coming so you could dodge them if they do throw them. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They might just throw them right as you're starting to come down the stairs, but once you're down here, you're good. At this point, I'm looking at that phantom that's dropping off the Wraith on the left side. I like to hide in this corner specifically because that's the last phantom to leave this area, so I could see he just flew up and away. You could barely see him from this angle, but you could see enough of him to know that he just left. I like to wait a few more seconds after that until I move up here, and I'm just going to jump up on the second terrace, up to the third, and then over here, and I'm going to wrap up around behind this Wraith, and ideally I would get up behind him and board him, but you want to have your Spartan laser ready because we want to take him out if he turns on us, which he does sometimes he doesn't. So he saw us this time, so we're going to switch to our laser to plan B, which is just laser him right in the front, and that will take him out with 1 shot. We have 2 shots left. We're going to do the same thing now to this other guy on the other side. Turns out this guy knew exactly what we were doing and turned on us immediately. You could jump down below to the bottom of the stairs again and try to just get him to stop paying attention to you, start paying attention to Mickey, and then you could try again. Ideally, you would want to backsmack him because obviously you would get your stamina back all the way to full, and you never want to board the front of him because the guy in the turret will just shoot you right off. You want to board him from behind, if at all, and just keep smacking him in the back until it blows up along with the guy in the turret. But once we're down here, we're going to grab the plasma pistol and juggle it up to this second plasma pistol, and we're going to leave the Spartan laser here, and we're going to take one of the plasma pistols. So I have a plasma pistol in my hand and a pistol, and I'm going to noob combo as many of the brutes up here as I can. Also, you want to clear out all the grunts first because, as we said earlier, the grunts are very nade happy. They will be glad to throw a ton of grenades at you. And you can see I go up behind that big structure, that big barricade, but it is destructible and it pretty much got destroyed by all those grenades that I had fly in there. I should have taken out much more of the grunt opposition before moving up there. But, you know, I'm an idiot, so that's not what happened. And you don't really want to be over here where I am right now because you could get flanked. You can't really see all the enemies in front of you at once. So while I'm looking one way, they could be shooting me from the other direction. So don't be up here as much as possible. You could venture up here, but just know it's less safe to be up here. So I'm just going to back up. And ideally, I would noob combo all those guys from behind that cover, that barricade that just got blown up. But unfortunately, it's not there anymore. So I'm just going to go back here. And this is actually fairly easy from this distance. there's a sweet spot where you can noob combo these brutes from very far away, and they don't even dodge if you do it right. So I'm going to line up my reticle on this brute, and I'm going to shoot one shot with the plasma pistol, just a little tiny spritz, and you can see he did not try to dodge at all. That means we're far enough away where he no longer dodges. He doesn't see it coming anymore. But you also don't want to be too far away, because if you noob combo from too far away, the overcharge burst will actually dissipate before connecting with the enemies. So that's what I mean about the sweet spot. You got to be close enough where the overcharge burst could actually make it all the way there, but far enough away where they don't actually react when you shoot at them. So you can test that out a little bit with a couple spritzes from the plasma pistol, and then you could commit with a fully overcharged plasma pistol burst once you know you're in the right zone, in the sweet spot zone. One thing to note is being far enough away doesn't prevent them from deciding to move all of a sudden for no reason. So they won't actually react to your shot anymore, but they might just up and decide to be like, hey, I want to be over here now, and sidestep for no reason. So you want to wait for them to kind of calm down and stop shuffling around. That way they're kind of standing still for a while. You know they're probably going to continue to stand still, and that way when you shoot your shot, they'll just take it and not even know what's happening, not even know what's coming. But if you wanted to move up and be more aggressive, you could do that with a more personal noob combo experience, but that would obviously be riskier, so this is an alternative to that. Once you take out enough enemies, there will be some dialogue saying more phantoms coming in, so there will be one more phantom that drops in with another Wraith and a lot more enemies. So we're just going to grab our Spartan laser and then go back to this stairwell again. Yet again, a lovely hiding spot that we like to use. So we're not going to go all the way down here to the bottom. We're actually just going to go up to this first landing here, kind of in the middle of the stairs. And this way we'll be able to kind of get the jump on the Wraith as it gets dropped off. You can see the Phantom is in the distance, dropping off a bunch of brutes and other infantry. And it's actually going to curl around to our left and then drop off the Wraith right in front of us. So as soon as you see the Phantom, you could actually move up and board him from behind. Remember, you don't want to board the front side of the Wraith, you want to board the back side. So hop on the back side here. Right as he's dropped off, you could board him and keep smacking him until that brute in the front is dead. You want to make sure you continue with those smacks because you don't want that brute in the turret to survive and hop out and start shooting at you. So I was about to get all my stamina back, but there's a carbine brute apparently that had other ideas. So unfortunately, I'm still pretty healthy, but not fully healthy. So we're going to back up into the stairway one more time, and I just skipped ahead there. Basically, you want to wait there until the Phantom leaves. The Phantom drops off the Wraith, and then it will just stick around for like 20-30 seconds and offer some support from the air, but we could just wait for him to leave. And then we're going to wrap up around to either the left or right side, dealer's choice there. I like to wrap up to the side that there's more action on generally, so we could see that in the distance, more towards the right side of the map, that's where Mickey is distracting more enemies. So I want to use that to my advantage and wrap up to that side, and hopefully Mickey will continue to distract these guys. Also, I like the health pack placement on this side a little bit better, so that's always good too. I'll show you where it is as I pick it up. I also have some grenades ready in case I need to throw some grenades, not to kill enemies, but to get them to dodge out of my way. We're just going to run through the doorway that's going to open up where we put those two lasers and that sniper. So we're just going to juggle our current laser and the two other full lasers into the area as soon as we get up there. Totally random how much you'll have to throw grenades, but you can see I threw a grenade at that guy to get him to dodge, and behind this planting bed there is a health pack, so I grabbed that, and now we're going to go behind these planting beds and then jump down the stairway here. I like to cut in behind this area where we grabbed those rockets initially, but some guy threw a grenade, so it stalled me for a little bit. And now we want to quickly juggle these three lasers into the doorway here using the sniper rifle. Make sure you don't accidentally give any of these weapons to these Marines that are running around, so they could be a little bit of an annoyance. But just juggle the three lasers into the doorway quickly. Then once all three are through the first doorway, we're going to focus on individually juggling each of these lasers one at a time up into this second doorway, through the second doorway. And you want to be aware of your backside because there are some Covenant that are closing in on your position, and sometimes there's a Hammer Chieftain that follows you in here. Usually not, but if he does, just do the sidestep as he does that main attack of his, as he swings his hammer at you, and you can wrap up around behind him and smack him as he's recovering. You can see there were a couple more brutes hanging out by the doorway, so I threw a frag grenade to get him to kind of jump around and dive out of the way as I went and grabbed that third and final laser. And now I'm just kind of finding out which of these three lasers, now that I'm safely in here, I could kind of focus and take some time to figure out which of these three lasers is the one that is mostly empty. So you're going to find out by grabbing one of the lasers, and if you could switch the laser in your hands for one of the full lasers on the ground, that means the laser you just put down is the empty one, or not the empty one, but the mostly empty one. It has one shot left in it. So I've identified that one. I'm going to give that one that is mostly empty to one of the Marines up ahead here. So I'm going to place one of the full Spartan lasers up on the left here, and we're going to come back and use that later. I'm going to give the one that is mostly empty to one of the Marines like I mentioned, and I'm going to take the other full one to the back left with me. So That Marine now has the used laser. We have one of the lasers, one of the full lasers up here where we're going to leave them, and then I'm going to grab the other laser that's full and juggle it with the sniper to the back left over here. So I'm going to place this laser right about there. Now that I'm thinking about it, you probably want to leave the sniper where I put that laser and have the laser on you, but it really doesn't matter that much. We're going to move up to this turret and hop on, and there's a couple health packs right behind me along with more pistol ammo, so we're going to grab pistol ammo. We're going to grab a health pack if we need it, and we're going to now post up with the turret, and there's going to be enemies coming in from the left and the right. Lots of suicide grunts, so you want to focus on those guys before they get too close to you. Mickey should be doing some pretty good work with that rocket launcher, and so should that guy with the laser. Plus, you got 3 other Marines with some various weapons that may or may not be that effective on Lasso. But we're just going to tear into these guys with our turret. This is probably an easier section on PC because you can increase your field of view and see both sides at once instead of just kind of focusing on one side or the other like you could on Xbox. As soon as you take a lot of damage like I did there, you could back up, get off the turret, and grab one of the health packs behind you, and then you can hop back on if you want. Eventually, I'm going to just retreat once the brutes come into play, especially because you can't really take out the brutes that quickly, and you're just a sitting duck. You could get brute shot at, or you could get stuck with a spike grenade or something. So once the brutes show up, you want to back up, and we're going to go back to where we put that laser, and we'll kind of camp out over there and let all these guys in the middle distract for us. So we've retreated now to our little spot, and I actually think I have the laser in my hand, so you're going to see me accidentally snipe one of the brutes instead of charging up my laser, and then realizing that I had a sniper in my hands, which is pretty much worthless against the brutes on Lasso, I decide to switch to the laser on the ground. This is very rare for a brute to actually get all the way through all your friendlies in the middle and get to you here. It's because he's berserking, and it's also because of some RNG that he was placed close enough to us to actually notice us and then berserk towards us. But we took him out with our laser, so you probably won't have to deal with a close quarters brute like that. But in case you do, you just laser him too. And we're going to laser him. There's going to be more brutes than laser ammo, so we're just going to kind of thin out their numbers with the laser initially. You could take your time and just wait for Mickey to actually take him out with the rockets. But usually at a certain point, Mickey starts to hide, and also the brutes tend to hide as well, and then they just kind of are in a stalemate of hiding behind objects. So you'll probably have to jump in there and stir the pot somehow. Eventually, once your Spartan laser is spent, like I mentioned, you only have 5 shots with it, so we can't really use it to kill everybody. You will want to find a plasma pistol on the ground. There's a bunch of jackals and grunts in the area, obviously, that we've been killing, so you'll be able to find a plasma pistol somewhere. It's totally random where they end up because of all the explosions and everything, so you just have to look around once the numbers of the brutes have thinned out and you are out of laser. So you can see I switched to a sniper temporarily. Eventually, I'm going to take out a jackal with the sniper rifle. The sniper is actually very good at taking out jackals even on Lasso, and even if the jackals have their shield all the way up and they're totally covered except for the little hand sticking out of the notch on their shield, all you got to do is snipe them twice in that notch and that will kill them. So you should be able to take out a few of these jackals with the sniper rifle if they present themselves to you. Mickey is also very good at taking out the jackals with his rocket. It takes 1 hit with the rockets, unlike the brutes who have a lot of shielding on Lasso. So we're going to see Mickey take out a bunch as well, and then we will take one out ourselves. You can see here we're sniping the jackal now, and we took him out, as I mentioned, twice in the arm or whatever sticking out around the shield there, and you'll be able to take him down. We're approaching the point where we don't have any more laser to deal with, so we're going to have to jump into the mix a little more than we have been and grab a plasma pistol. Unfortunately, you can see they're on the left and right side. Ideally, they would be on one or the other, so I could kind of safely investigate one side for rogue plasma pistols on the ground. You can see Mickey did some good work there. Finished him off with a headshot. You could always use a plasma rifle as well, which doesn't take shields down of brutes as quickly as a plasma pistol. Obviously, plasma pistol is what you want ideally, but sometimes you might have to settle for a brute plasma rifle in your quest for that plasma pistol. But I'm just looking around here. Obviously, all the brutes are in hiding at this point, and I'm a little nervous. I'm just peeking around the corners. You could see them at any moment pop out, so we're just taking it slow. They're kind of behind the central structure here, kind of in between the left and the right side. I thought this might be a plasma pistol back here, but it's a needler, so we're going to have to turn around and look for something else. A needler is a decent weapon to use if you have nothing else. You could super combine and kill these brutes. It takes a couple explosions, though, so we're just going to continue our quest here and look for a plasma pistol. They got to be somewhere. Finally, I found one under the staticky monitor, so we're going to grab this. We're going to keep our pistol, obviously, so we can noob combo these guys, noob them to collapse their shield, and then we're going to switch to our pistol to finish them off with a headshot. If we could land the headshot, there it is. We just need to aim a little bit better. But just take your time. The hardest part is safely getting the plasma pistol. Now we could just kind of slowly poke our heads out and fight one at a time. You don't want to, put yourself in a position where all 5 of them or however many there are could see you. You just want to see one at a time, because if you could only see one, only one could see you, and he's quickly going to become pretty much useless because you collapse his shields, which temporarily stuns them and gets them to put their weapon away for a while. Then you could just quickly headshot them, and then you want to back up for a little bit, take a few seconds, because if any brutes decide to throw a grenade your way, you want to be backed up away from that nonsense. But we've cleared out all of the enemies that are going to be coming through those doors, so we have a little bit of time to gather ourselves, and we want to grab the health if we need it from the outside here. There's 2 health packs, so I recommend grabbing 1 if you need it, but we want to save that second health pack for after this next wave that's about to come in. So we're going to go back inside real quick. We have some plasma pistols in here on the ready. We have a Spartan laser. Remember, we still have that full Spartan laser that we put down in the beginning of this encounter. Grab that pistol ammo if you haven't already, and it's still there from the middle of the floor. In the middle of this section, there's also those Marines who may or may not have had some pistols, and who knows where their weapons are, but take a look around. You might be able to find some more pistol ammo if you need it. But we're going to camp out pretty much where all those enemies were coming in just now. That's where we want to be now, because the enemies are coming in from the outside now instead of coming in through these inside doors. And we're pretty much going to do the same thing as we just were doing. We want to take out the brutes with the Spartan laser, and then we have plasma pistols at the ready here, so we could switch to noob combos once we are out of laser. And also we want to take out the grunts with headshots, and we want to take out the jackals, maybe with a laser. Sometimes in my lasso runs I'll decide to blow up a cluster of jackals with a laser shot. But typically I leave the jackals for the end, because a lot of the time Mickey will just take them out for me, and if they're still alive, I'll just kind of noob combo them, and I won't finish them off with a headshot because they tend to just run away and put their hands over their heads like we've seen in previous lasso missions. So I'll just kind of go up behind them as they're running away and backsmack them for the quick kill / the stamina that I get back from doing that. So another thing you probably want to try to do if you can is to get brutes that are kind of lined up so you could kill multiple brutes with one laser. That's ideal, obviously. Sometimes they don't cooperate that much. Another thing you could do is try to laser them when they're on a stairway, so you could see the stairway that's closest to us and also the stairways further beyond. That's a very narrow section. It's kind of a choke point, so when you get a brute who is kind of on those stairways, they can't really move to the left or right behind a pillar, so they're kind of stuck, and they are very easily lasered at that point. So if you ever see a brute on a stairway in the distance, aim for that guy, because he's not going to be able to dive out of the way in time before you can laser him. Another thing to note is the fact that on the left side there are brutes and grunts, and on the right side there's brutes and jackals. So you may want to focus more on the left side where the grunts are, because you're more able to headshot those guys than the jackals who have the shields up. So just leave it to Mickey to take out the jackals on the right side. That's why I like to focus on the left more, because I could contribute more over there with my pistol than I can on the right. But either way, we're going to take out everybody, and we're getting close to doing so. We're getting close to switching to a plasma pistol, and then just kind of wrapping up around behind any of the remaining brutes who may be alive. So we could see there's still some alive on the left side at least, so I'm going to use my last laser shot here, and I end up missing because Mickey actually shoots a rocket, which gets them to jump out of the way, and then my laser shot misses entirely as well. So thanks for that, Mickey. I'm out of laser, so I'm going to exchange my laser for a plasma pistol, and then we'll be able to wrap up around behind these brutes and finish them off with the noob combo like I mentioned. But you don't want to run straight at the brutes. You want to go to the side that they're not, and that way you could wrap up around behind them, so you take them by surprise, A, but B, you also don't put yourself in between Mickey and the brutes, because that could mean a rocket straight to the back of the head for you, which is not great. I didn't bring any Advil with me. We just have these health packs, which I don't even know what these things do, but I doubt they will help out with a rocket straight to the back of the dome. So we're going to wrap up around the side of these guys. We're noob comboing them, and we will be able to take these guys out quickly and easily. And while I'm back here, I'm avoiding touching this last health pack because I want to save it for the very end, so I know I'm going into the next section with full health. So that was the last guy. Now I could grab the health pack and know that we're going into the next section with that full health that we wanted. So we're going to go back inside where Mickey is, and there's going to be an elevator that arrives that we're going to board, and it will take us up to the top of the building where the final battle in this mission is. And before we do that, we want to grab some plasma pistols so we can noob combo a bunch of people up on the top of the roof. So I have a regular pistol, I have the plasma pistols I'll be juggling into this elevator, and I also have this SMG that I just picked up in the middle of the floor on the ground here. So you can see my time just jumped up a little bit. That's because as we were going up the elevator, Mickey decided to throw a grenade, and he straight up killed me. So the only death in this run was on the way up the elevator, and Mickey throws a grenade and kills me. But we're going to gather a bunch of pistols. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here because it takes a while. You can see I've gathered like 3 or 4 pistols here, plasma pistols that is, in the middle of the elevator. You don't need this many, but I just figured I would do it. Better to be safe than sorry, but you can see we have activated the console, which will get the elevator doors to close. Once that happens, you want to go up to those doors and just crouch right next to it, and you will be able to avoid most or all of the fire from the buggers that are going to spawn in and harass you guys as you go up the elevator shaft here. And you just want to pray that Mickey doesn't throw a grenade at you, because he did on my run, and he was the only death. Or that was the reason for my only death, rather. I guess he's invincible and can't die. Must be nice, but you can see I'm just kind of looking around in case there's a bugger that flies overhead. I'm going to take him down with the SMG. The SMG is really good at taking down buggers, but if you don't have the SMG or it was otherwise displaced and you can't find it, don't worry about it. Just kind of hide by these doors, and Mickey and our new friend here will be able to handle most of them. Sometimes the buggers get right up in your face, and if they do that, just smack them for the one-hit kill, so they'll quickly die, and you'll also get your stamina back. And speaking of stamina, try not to touch the health packs. You may have noticed there's 2 health packs on the floor of this elevator. I try to save them for the battle on the rooftop here, but if you touch them, that's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. We're going to get to the top. We have plenty of plasma pistols. Even if you didn't bring any plasma pistols, there's a good chance that some of the dead drones, as they were flying around, dropped one on the elevator for you. So we have plenty of plasma pistol to work with here. We're just going to noob combo all of the brutes, and we're going to headshot all the grunts. And then there's those pesky jackals with their shields. We're going to take down those shields with a plasma pistol, and then we'll be able to wrap up around behind them and smack them in the back as they run away in fear. As we've seen, they will occasionally not run away in fear. They will continue firing at you, but you could always just switch to your pistol and shoot them in the head if that is the case. So we'll be able to take them out quickly and easily either way. And then the only exception to the noob combo situation for the brutes is obviously this brute chieftain up ahead here. So we are going to let him get close to us, which seems counterintuitive, but like we saw earlier in this mission, you could actually sidestep his most common attack, which is kind of the lunge forward and then the swing of the hammer. You could sidestep to the left of that, wrap up around behind him as he's recovering, and backsmack him for the quick kill. Even if he has his invincibility activated, you could still backsmack him for the kill with that on. Switching out for one of my many plasma pistols back here, you could see I also grabbed one of the health packs on the wall back here. So even if you use the elevator health packs, there's also health packs on the wall over here. So we could use those as we need to. And we're just going to continue the party here. Once there's only a few enemies remaining, there will be a pelican that flies in that we're actually going to end up boarding at the end, and it will actually help you out. Here's the chieftain and another way to take him out. Stun him with the plasma pistol, and then you'll be able to wrap up around behind him as he's recovering, and you could backsmack him that way in case you are not comfortable dodging the hammer strike like I did earlier in the mission. And you want to make sure you're close enough to him that when you do stun him, you have time to wrap up around behind him and then backsmack him, because it's a quick recovery time for him. So if you stun him from across the map, obviously you won't have enough time to get up behind him, and he only gets stunned this way once, so you can't try again unless you, of course, revert to your last checkpoint. And not only does the pelican do some good damage with that turret, he actually serves as a pretty good distraction, so you could wrap up around behind these last enemies, backsmack them, and then hop in, and we're off into the cutscene, into the next mission, and we are halfway there. 4 down, 4 to go. These next couple are going to be quicker, easier ones, and then we're going to finish off with Data Hive and Coastal Highway, which are longer, more difficult ones. But I'll see you for the next one, which is NMPD HQ. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found that video helpful, be sure to click on the scorpion icon to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You can also check out some related guides by clicking on the videos on screen, and you can find links in the description for other social media links of mine. Stay tuned for more Halo guides, and I'll see you in the next one.